So I wasn't planning on doing a video, but I did want to go and record this because I was just talking with a client and I told him something that I've been saying a lot, and it's really my story, which is you have to accept that life is warfare. Life is a battle. And the quicker that you accept that, the quicker that you can get weapons, metaphorically speaking, that will allow you to overcome the battles that will constantly take place in your life. So I am literally the happiest that I've ever been in my entire life. And it is most certainly not because of the absence of battles, especially, running this online program and being a dad, being a husband. Like, there's a lot of battles that I have to face, battles that most people don't even ever know about. Even sometimes I don't even tell my wife because I just don't want to, stress her out or whatever. But I face a lot of battles, but I also have a lot of victories. And there was a point in my life where there were battles, but there were no victories. And that's because I still had this mindset that maybe at some point in my life, I wouldn't have to go through hard things anymore. And I remember I'd gone through so much trauma and just so much hardship that I literally told myself, if I go through one more trauma, one more challenge, I'm just going to stop trying in life. I'm going to stop pursuing my goals, my admirations, because I just can't take any more pain. I'll never forget that moment. I was in survival mode and I was living on the defense. But if you study warfare, you will quickly realize that if you're playing the defense, that means that your enemy is winning. In order to win in warfare, you have to go on the attack. You have to go on the offense. And so what I started to do is I started to accept, you know what? Life is hard. Life is challenging. There will be battles, and I'm going to accept that, number one. I'm going to stop being in denial that maybe one day everything's going to be easy and I won't have any battles. That's just not going to happen in this life. And then the second thing that I started to do is I said, now that I've accepted that these battles will come, I'm going to be ready. I'm going to get weapons, metaphorically speaking, which represent different ways that I will overcome these obstacles and these challenges. And once I started to face toward the battle and I went on the offense, all of a sudden I started to get victory. All of a sudden, things that normally would have set me back for 6 months or a year, or I've even had some things that have happened to me that put me back for 5 years. Betrayals and traumas and just very difficult situations. But all of a sudden, I found myself able to very quickly overcome life's challenges. And every new challenge, I would get a new weapon. I would set up a boundary, or I would set up a strategy or a mindset or whatever I needed to set up to make sure that I knew how to handle that. And then all of a sudden, when that repeated itself, I already knew what to do. And it literally got to the point where most things literally just stopped throwing me off anymore. At this point in my life, it's very difficult to throw me off. And if I do get thrown off, it's for a very short duration, right? And I am literally the happiest that I've ever been in my entire life. I freaking love my life. And it is not because the absence of battles. At any given moment in my life, there are some battles that I'm facing, some bigger than others. But yet, if you see me, you're going to see me very focused. You're going to see me very disciplined. You're going to see me very joyful. Why is that? It's not because I live a perfect life. It's not because I don't have flaws and don't have weaknesses and don't make mistakes and don't have people that try to destroy me or people that betray me or people that try to use me, or I don't go through, just struggles with my emotions sometimes, or my mind sometimes, or my body sometimes. I just feel tired, right? There's all kinds of challenges that I face all the time, but yet I'm able to overcome them. And I'm just as messed up as you are. I'm just as human as you are. So it's not because I'm any different than you. It's because I started to accept that the battles are not going to stop happening. And if I want to reign in life, if I want to live a good life, a great life even, if I want to impact other people, and if I want to be able to be there for my friends and my family and you and the people that God has put in my life, I'm going to have a soldier's mentality. That's why I'm really drawn to people like Jocko Willink, who's a former Navy SEAL commander. That's why I'm really drawn to people like David Goggins, former Navy SEAL. I really like the soldier's mentality. Now, obviously, we're not talking about literal weapons and literal warfare, unless, that's what you're supposed to do in this life. And if that's the case, thank you for your service. But we're talking about metaphorical weapons and metaphorical battles. And even if you never actually step onto the battlefield, literally, you still are going to face battles every single day as a human being. And you're going to need weapons. And the weapons are metaphorical for tactics to overcome challenges, right? And that's really what I do as a coach, is people are facing these challenges. And because I've gone through it and developed a weapon, metaphorically speaking, to overcome it, I just teach them what it is. And then I also give them co-regulation. I give them the encouragement as they're learning to fight for themselves. That's really what co-regulation is. It's me carrying you on my back and then slowly teaching you how to fight for yourself and then sending you off into the battle called life so you can walk in victory for the rest of your life. So, with that being said, I want to ask you a question. And it may be the most important question that you've ever been asked. Are you living on the defense? Are you living in the delusion that at some point life is going to stop being hard, just like I was? Or have you accepted that there is a war and you are actively formulating weapons to make sure that you get the victory, and you're going out on the attack, you're going out on the offense? Well, if the answer to that question was the latter and not the former, well, then congratulations, you're going to live a great life. Not a perfect life. You're going to have ups and downs, but you're going to be able to overcome any obstacle. But if you're still the first person and you're just waiting, hoping that one day everything is just going to get better on its own, I say this respectfully and in love, but you're going to have a very, very, very difficult life. But all that can change in a moment. It takes a decision for you to accept that life is hard and start working on developing strategies to overcome those battles. And once you've got kind of a typical kind of battle, right? Maybe there's nuance to each situation, but generally speaking, on a macro level, it's kind of the same battle, and you have very effective tactics to combat that, you'll start to realize it doesn't even throw you off anymore. Right? You don't have to know how to overcome every single situation that life throws at you. You have to have mastered macro level principles that will allow you to navigate microscopic situation, meaning that there's specific details to it, right? And once you master that, you're going to start to love your life again. Well, how do you do that? Well, take a challenge and find somebody that's overcame it. How did they do it? Have they written a book? Do they have a course? Right? Do they offer coaching? Whatever that looks like, you find them and you learn from them, right? That's the beauty of learning from other people, right? Just like I went through the terrible lifestyle of symptoms of anxiety and panic attacks and depersonalization, generalization, and existential obsession and rumination, health anxiety, you name it. I went through all that. I went into the jungle, and by the grace of God, I was able to come out, and I came out with weapons that allowed me to overcome those things. And now I can hand them to you. Well, guess what? Whatever challenge you're facing, I guarantee you that there is somebody that's overcame it. You just have to find them. You don't even necessarily have to figure this out for yourself. Maybe they've never been through the exact same things as you, the exact same challenges. But again, you just need to learn the macro level principles that allow you to get through it. And then you can apply those macro level principles on a microscopic level in order to see a victory in each nuanced situation. And I know that because this happens all the time to me. I have battles and I overcome every single one of them because I have really, really powerful weapons, which represents boundaries, strategies, mindsets, understanding, things like that. And you can do the same thing. All right. So if you're ready to go out on the attack towards life so you can be victorious, click the like button, comment below if you want to say anything, click subscribe, and I hope you have an awesome day.